Nothing ruins a guest's opinion of you faster than unsightly water stains in your restroom sink. Liberal use of plumber's putty, mediocre cleanup, hard water and time all coalesce into a caked-on mess that's unappetizing and embarrassing. Procrastination ruled this project for too long, so I finally decided, let's give it a try. My first thought was that I would need to take the drain out of the sink in order to finish this job properly, but I decided first to go with a green Scotch-Brite pad and see what I could do. My main concern was not to use something so aggressive that it would scratch and dull the finish on the sink, but also not so light as to take 3 days to see a result. It probably would have been safer to use blue pads as they are less aggressive than the green, but I took my time and it worked out well. I spent about 4 minutes with the Scotch-Brite pad. With the big chunks of plumber's putty removed, there was some staining present. For that, I moved on to a 600 grit wet-dry sandpaper. Again, for the purpose of easing off the aggression on the sink finish, I kept a trickle of water running to act as a lubricant and flushing agent. I should note that the drain surround and plunger have a brushed finish, so I was not concerned with scratches showing. If your drain is polished to a mere finish or has some sort of coating, you may want to remove the drain to keep from scratching or removing the finish. All in all, I spent about 3 minutes with the 600 grit sandpaper. I used a pick to get the last of the putty that was still revealed in the gap between the sink and the drain surround. Obviously, I did not want to undercut too far and jeopardize the seal. I was only concerned with removing the bit of excess that was visible. With all the putty and staining removed from the sink, it was time to move on to the hard water stain that had formed on the drain stopper. If you've ever tried to clean any fixtures or shower doors suffering from hard water stains, you know the pain and usually the ultimate defeat of the attempt. I decided to try to polish the buildup off. In hindsight, I might have started with something more aggressive to begin with and finished up with the polishing. But the end result was the same, it just took a little more time. I started out with black emery buffing compound to try to cut the initial buildup. This was the most time-consuming part as the stain and buildup was pretty thick and stubborn. But I find buffing and polishing to be mildly therapeutic, so I didn't mind. It's fun to see the finish on the piece slowly get better and better looking. If you're finding this video helpful or entertaining, please strike a like. I have also left links to the tools and products I used in the description below. I switched to white buffing compound after the initial buildup was removed. I know, technically you should use different wheels for the different compounds so you don't contaminate the less aggressive compounds. But I just moved over to the other side of the wheel and called it good for this one. Also, I didn't have a spare wheel. Time to order a couple. Once I was happy with the look, I moved on to the second wheel and finished up with some red compound. That was the finest compound I happened to have available, and I put a mirror finish on it. All in all, I spent about 30 to 40 minutes on this part of the process. Obviously, mirrored stainless, although beautiful, is not the right look for this application. So I finished up where I began with the green Scotch-Brite. Holding the pad in one hand, I pressed the stopper into it and twisted, creating that circular brushed finish. Be very careful not to slide the stopper back and forth while twisting, as you'll get scratches that are not circular in nature and it will ruin the effect. Good as new. Reputation saved. I felt this turned out great, and it really was not all that hard to make a big impact. If you enjoyed the video, please strike a like. Leave me a comment. I love hearing from you. That's it for now. Until next time, I'm mainejason. Get out there and give it a try.